Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Can men love women? The way a man loves a woman is not the way a woman receives love. So when you take my course, Crack the Female Code, you will learn the difference in between how the left brain processes versus how the right brain processes. And this is very, very important to understand what love is to a woman. See, men will battle till the beginning of time to the end of time to prove his love to a woman, to get a woman to love him. The problem is he's doing it in the wrong way. He's doing it in a way that will actually piss a woman off. It will upset her deeply. It will hurt her emotionally. It'll make her truly believe that you don't care about her. And yet you do. From the deepest depths of your heart, you are expressing your love to the fullest. The problem is you're doing it in the male way. She cannot receive it in the way that you receive it. She is neurologically and physically wired in the opposite direction. She needs to receive it in the other way. In fact, the angrier she gets, or the more she feels unhappy, the harder you work, the harder you literally, listen to this word closely because I'm going to bring it up later. The more you push, the harder you push your love, the more she feels like you don't care. In fact, she thinks you're taking a shortcut because, well, you don't really care about her. You just want sex and that's all you care about. When in fact, she doesn't understand men at all. There is a huge, huge gap between how men express their love and how women receive love. There's a huge gap in everything. You know, I'm going to say something. I think if you've heard my past videos, you're like, oh, he's just meaning it metaphorically. No. Men and women are speaking two radically, completely different languages, and I'm not kidding. There's the external left brain language versus the internal right brain language. Not only are these two different languages that use two different words, or two different forms of words, languaging, they're also going in two different directions. Now here's the third piece. We are processing language and body language through two different processors. The left brain is the linear, meaning it goes in a line, L-I-N-E-A-R. It's a linear line processor. The right brain is a circular, it's called the internal circular expansive processor. So have you ever heard a guy say, God, it's like women speak in circles? Yeah, they do, because that's the way they process language. So all I do is I come along and say, hey, let me teach you how to open up to your right brain, and then let me teach you how to use your right brain so you can begin to process language and communication and body language in this way. And then let me teach you how to speak their hidden language, the internal language, and then we combine the two, and all of a sudden, women make sense. By the way, the left brain is the business brain. It's the mechanical brain. It's good for math, business, science. It's not good for love, and that's the way you're expressing your love, through the external way. You're using the external brain to express your love. The problem is, her love is in the right brain. The right brain is literally, and you don't need to ask me, go to your local psychologist, go to your local university. The right brain is the relationship brain. It's the social brain. It's the brain you're supposed to be in when you're expressing your love. You're expressing your love externally in a line, and she needs to receive it, literally, like physically receive it internally in an open, literally like an expanding circle. And you're like, what are you talking about? I know the languaging is weird, but when you understand it, all the pieces will fall into place, and all of a sudden you'll understand women. All right, let's put it this way. When women hear me talk about this, all the words that I'm using, that you're like, wait, well, internal, what? She needs to receive it internally. What's he talking about? I'm telling you right now, your own mother, your own sister, the women at church, every woman you've ever met, they'll be like, yeah, I understand. They understand. I mean, literally, I don't have to explain a single definition or describe what any of these things mean to a woman, because this is the way they're wired. They're like, they've been talking this way since they're little girls. They're very aware of this. What they're shocked at is men come up with a complete zero when it comes to all of this. Alright, for example, so earlier in this video I said hold on to this word, or remember this word push. The male language is the external push language. It's literally pushing the language at you, okay? The male left brain is the external push energy, okay? The male system, all of our systems are designed to push, to go external, including your penis. The penis literally pushes externally into the vagina. So you express your love in what's called the external push energy, or the external push way. She can't receive it this way. She has to receive it. So, you know what? I can't express it in the way you're going to have to take the course. This, I would literally be talking for 4 or 5 hours to even get this one little piece across. But I can give you this. Okay, watch this. Okay. So, you know how the female vagina opens up to receive the penis? Guess what? Her heart and emotions do a very similar thing. In order for her to receive your love, she has to be able to open up. So technically what it does is it opens her up to her right brain. So this course that I've said in the past is all about love, communication, and understanding. Those 3 things, those 3 words, when you learn how to do, women will melt into your heart. They will melt into your arms. They will fall into your arms happily, willingly, and consciously. Meaning there's no tricks, there's no manipulation, there's nothing like that going on here at all. Furthermore, the male brain is the external brain. It wants to reach out and grab, like the steering wheel, grab the door. It wants to control things, manipulate things. This is the complete opposite, and it's 10 to the 10th power, much more powerful than that. In fact, that way is the way you close the door. In fact, that's the whole thing about the left brain. The left brain is the closed door. So when you express your love from the left brain, it closes her heart. It literally closes her door to her mating system and turns her off. And this is why women are frustrated with men all the time. Now watch this. It's not something you do to her. So a lot of guys come to me and say, what do I do to make her? Make her? That's controlling. That's external. What do I do to make her like me? And I say, oh God, nothing. Don't do anything to her. Leave her alone. It's not what you do to her. It's what you do to you. First of all, we have to get you to shift over to your right brain. Second of all, we need to bring you and drop you down internal. Here's why. This opens you up emotionally. So here's how it works with a woman. If you're closed and you express your love in the closed male linear external push energy, like you hand her a flower, that's external. It closes her up. And now she's like, oh, he doesn't care about me. See, she's looking at you, waiting for your heart to open up emotionally. And yes, there are physical signs that I will teach you to see where you'll be like, oh, yeah, your whole neurology shifts when you open up. She can see that physically. So on an unconscious level, when you open up emotionally, now the reason I'm showing this picture is because your awareness should be expanded around you. There's some very specific techniques to teach you how to do this properly in a way that allows her to open up. See, women fall in love when they're open emotionally. If she's closed mentally and closed emotionally, she's never going to want to have sex with you. And if she does, it's a bartering system. You're paying the bills, you're buying her car. She's not in love with you though. She's having sex essentially as a prostitute. And she's waiting and waiting. Women will wait years for you to open up. Here's the deal. They think that you can open up just as easily as they can. The problem is, number one, no, you can't. It takes work. You're going to have, and number two, you don't know how. You don't even know what this is. That's what this course is about. I will teach you how, and we will practice and practice and practice, and we will condition this into you until you become really good at it. I'm going to give you a quick story. I'm going to shorten it. When I was about 20, 21 years old, I was actually, I was the associate pastor of this fairly large church. The elders had made me the pastor. I didn't try for it. They were just like, no, you're waking up and you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I went to my dad, who just happened to live literally four houses down, and he walked me out to the end of the driveway. He'd never done that before. And right before we got to the end, he burst out in tears crying. Now, I don't mean like normal tears. I mean, he was sobbing and heaving. And he just burst out, and because Dad didn't go to church, and so he said, if God's so great, and he's sobbing, he goes, why did he make it so hard to love a woman? And he was just sobbing. And I have to tell you something, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that changed the direction of my life. My best friend had just died about 6 to 9 months before that. My girlfriend and I broke up. I was heartbroken. He was crying. And here's something my dad said. Now listen closely. He said, the harder I tried to love your mother, the angrier she got. And I remember as a child how much my dad loved my mom and how he did everything in his power to love her, to make the marriage work. And it was like, I remember one time he bought out the entire florist. And now we were upper middle class, so we had 2 restaurants, 2 bars. We made very good money. But all 4 of those businesses were just rocking. Okay, so we had plenty of money. He literally went down there. The florist had to take 3 or 4 trips in his van, filled it up, and I remember I came home from, like, I think it was kindergarten or something like that, and I was walking up, and there's all these flowers outside the front door, these big stands on the left side, the right side, these big circular roses, etc. And when you walked in, the whole entryway down the steps to the living room to the right, you couldn't even walk into the living room. It was nothing but, you couldn't sit on a couch, a chair, a table, nothing, just loaded all the way to the fireplace with flowers and roses, just everything you could imagine. I remember I had peeked through the door, and my dad looked out through the kitchen. He goes, Michael, hurry up. Mom's going to be home. Come in, quick. So my mom was coming home from work, and I went in, shut the door, and went in the kitchen, and we were waiting for my mom. And I remember the door opened, and we were hiding it behind the wall in the kitchen. And I was just smiling, thinking, oh my God, my dad's so great, blah, blah, blah. Mom's going to be so happy. And my mom was quiet. And you could feel that she was angry. And all of a sudden, she just goes, God damn it! What did you do this time? And why did you do that? And I'm, as a little boy, I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's she mad about? I thought it must have been something else. And no, it was the fact that he had bought all those flowers. Now, you might think, well, yeah, but that was a lot of money. You got to understand, we had plenty. We had ridiculous amounts of money back then. And I just was like, man, no matter what my dad does, my mom gets pissed off. So here I am, so I was a little kid, so here we fast forward about, 15 plus years. My dad's just sobbing in my arms, if God's so great, why did he make it so hard to love a woman? Well, this sent me on this journey. I studied the Bible like my life depended on it. But the thing is, I didn't really understand consciously why I was doing that. I mean, I was buying like biblical dictionaries from the Hebrew, Greek, lexicon dictionaries. I wanted to know what this word meant in the Old Testament in this time when it was written. And I went and studied psychology. I went to college, and then I got involved in NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy, everything I could get my hands on. I was just ripping. I was going to Tony Robbins seminars, relationship seminars. But even then, I didn't realize what I was looking for. But it was like I was looking for something, but I didn't know what it was. I started learning some things in NLP, some very basic things, and these are not the discoveries that I made in my course. These were just some very basic, how to express your love, communicate, etc. These are just very nice things, but the secrets that I teach are what women, and you know what? You could line up 100 women, 1,000 women, and I could sit there and tell them, like, what women are looking for is mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication. And everyone would be like, yes, we're looking at, and then I would say, for meaningful connections with your spouse. They're like, yes, why don't men get this? Right now, you're like, mentally stimulating what? Emotionally what? You don't know what it is, and you don't know how to do it. By the way, Tony Robbins doesn't teach it. You won't learn it from an NLP trainer. You won't learn it from anybody. So, when I was probably about 31 years old, maybe a little bit older, I wasn't very close to my mom. But I think it was my brother had passed away, and I went to the funeral. I kind of talked to my mom on the phone a few days, and she was still angry at my father. Now you can understand, this is literally like 26, 27 years later. She goes, your father never loved me. I'm like, oh no, Mom, you're absolutely wrong about that. Dad loved you with all his heart and all his soul. He put every ounce of effort that he could to get you to feel his love, to realize he loved you. No, 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 no. So then I put on about an hour and a half, 2-hour clinic. Now, women understand this stuff immediately. Men, I have the same thing that I teach women in about 2 hours to 4 hours. It takes me about 30 plus hours to teach to you. I'm not kidding, because what I teach, it is the right brain function. It is completely foreign, completely odd. And I'll even tell clients, like, if you think this is foreign, odd, and strange, then you're on track, because this is not the way a man thinks. And that is the point. So I talked to my mom for about 2, maybe 2.5 hours, and she got really quiet about half an hour into it. She didn't say a single word. So I kind of slowed down. I go, you're starting to get it, aren't you? And she got real quiet. And eventually she said, so your dad did love me this entire time. I'm like, Mom, Dad loved you till the day he died. Do you know why I do this work, guys? Is because, okay, I'm going to use myself and my dad as an example. I remember when I was in love in high school, we were in love. The first 2 years was heaven, and I mean heaven. But that's about stereotypical, about the time when the relationship starts to fall apart. But the man doesn't know it, because when we make love to a woman, we have an orgasm. And after we have an orgasm, this chemical called oxytocin, there's another chemical that's released into our bloodstream, completely relaxes us. All our worries go away. You know, our problems at work are gone, and it's just like, it is like nirvana. You feel so content. You feel so good. So because of that, you think everything's fine. The problem is, she cannot receive those feelings from sex alone. She has to receive it first mentally and then emotionally, and then that chemical releases into her bloodstream. If a woman has sex alone, that chemical oxytocin doesn't get released into her bloodstream, so she's just looking at you and she's getting pissed because, and women have said this, well, I can see that he's completely relaxed, that he's feeling content and feeling that warm, fuzzy feeling, but I want it too. See, men assume, well, we had sex, and so she's feeling that way, right? No. She's feeling empty, and that's why women will tell you sex alone is meaningless. It's empty. There's another thing that women will do unconsciously in the beginning of the relationship. It's called double pictures. Now, I'm not going to explain that in this video. I think I've explained it already in the past. But essentially what it is, their left and right brain, where men are stuck in their left brain, and this is the problem because our mating system is in the right brain. It's connected to the right brain's communication center. Oh, I'm a good communicator. No, not logical left brain, not like English class, like dot, period, comma. You know, no, it's not about proper English. In fact, if anything, the right brain breaks all the rules to English. It's about descriptive languaging, and also adding that to the internal language. So there's a couple pieces we have to teach to you in order for you to be able to do this, to where you can literally stimulate her mating system, which melts her heart and then turns her on. What I recommend is I go over this in depth in my book, Crack the Female Code. This book is 500 pages. It's about science. It's about our mating system. It's about everything that I'm talking about now and a whole lot more. It's also required reading before you take the course. You have to read that book before you take the course. The Ultimate Package I recommend highly because it has all of my books in there. Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, Sex Signals, Crack the Female Code. And it has an introduction to the internal language. Oh, and it's massively on sale. You get all the books. It's normally $225 package. You get all the books plus the internal language section for 75 bucks. That price is going to go up quite significantly very soon here. So essentially what women do in the beginning of a relationship, when they really like a guy, when they're in love and the chemicals are flowing, they do this thing called double pictures. Now this is something medical. It's double pictures. It's an unconscious process that women do. So they'll say A but not mean A. They mean something else B. And this is what really pisses men off, because we don't do that. We say A and we mean A, and that's it. I'm going to the grocery store. That's it. A woman say, what does he really mean when he says that? Or what is the deeper meaning of that? She can't help it. It is an unconscious process that the right brain does. But it really does add to the world. That's why we have carpet. It's why we have heating. If it wasn't for women's right brain, we wouldn't have all this nice stuff that we have, because essentially men are lazy. So this is what men say. Women just, they beat around the bush, or women think too much, or they talk in circular talk. This is the intro to that circular talk. There's a way to actually understand the symbolic meaning. Now there's it's a hard thing to understand, because you have to first know, when is she in her right brain? Because if she's in her left brain, she's using the same brain you're using. A means A, and that's it. She's being very, what we call, direct. Okay, the male language is very direct, specific, and concrete. The right brain language is where you say A and you mean B. Now the reason why you do it is because if you can understand the symbology, you'll understand the teaching much, much more in depth. It's a much more in-depth way of teaching things, communicating things, and expressing things. The challenge in the world is men don't know how to do this. When a man learns how to open up to this and process in this way, look at this picture. She will literally fall in love with you. So I've learned from the masters, from Tony Robbins, Dr. Tad James, Dr. Bandler, Dr. Grinder. I've learned from Buddha Kam. This is Buddha Chandi on the right here. I've learned from some of the most specialized people in the world. Buddhist monks there's some hidden secrets on creating this loving vibe. That's one of the things that I'm going to teach you how to do. The most incredible thing to do in the world. You can go to a coffee shop, create this energy around you, and all of a sudden women will want to talk to you. They want to touch you. They want to, hey, let's go for a walk. They will interact with you. The first step is buy the ultimate package right now. The second step, read the book Crack the Female Code. The next thing I highly recommend is read the book Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, because it's all about the internal awareness. This is where I break it down. If you want to understand this before taking the course, this is the book to get. It gives you exercises, it gives you practices, things you can do to begin to develop this. In fact, if you do this before you take the course, it'll make the course a lot easier. I tell you what, I'm going to throw something out there. I'm going to offer you a deal on the course. The course is exceedingly expensive. It's a very in-depth. It's about 35 plus hours. The 5-day course is kind of a slam jam course where we put all the pieces together. But if you read these 2 books first, it'll cut down a lot of the stuff that you're going to need to learn in the course, okay? That's a $5,000 course. We do 2 sessions. It's about 3.5 to 4 hours each session. So we're pretty much at it all day long. So we're talking about 35 plus hours for the course alone. What I'm going to throw in with it is we're going to do 2 phone sessions that are about an hour and a half, maybe up to 2 hours each, to kind of get the wheels rolling before you get here. And I will give you a discount on the overall course price. We're going to talk about that over the phone. So the only thing I ask for you is buy the ultimate package right now and read those 2 books first, okay? First step, go to crackthefemalecode.com, buy the ultimate package. Second step, read the book Crack the Female Code. Then read Get the Girl, Keep the Girl. Then give me a call and we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about the price and when we can set up an appointment for you to take the course, Crack the Female Code. In the next video, I'm going to go over a very simple thing that men do that upsets women. I'm going to teach you how to do it right. It's an actual experience that I had with a young lady named Kim. That's it, guys. Go ahead and click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.